Good morning. We did it. Yesterday was surgery, and it was much more of a surgical experience than I anticipated. It went great, I think. Did she say it went well?
Yeah, she said it went well.
Okay. So can you explain, did she explain, like, did they go in and sew up, like, at the abdominal wall?
I think, so Mary's got this hole, not anymore, but she had this hole, and
that was where the button went.
Yes, and basically, to not make it too complicated, her intestine is sewed up to that hole.
Yes.
And so my sense is, so you picture like a tunnel from that hole that goes through the skin, and then...
Is it kind of like this, like an earring?
Yeah, but then on the underside,
yes.
My sense is that, like, on the underside of her skin, like, what's the underside of our skin look like? I don't know. But
of my abdominal wall.
Yeah, of your abdominal wall. Yeah, so through the skin and then abdominal
through
wall.
The muscle.
Like, what's the abdominal wall?
I don't know.
Anyways, it's connected there from her previous J-tube surgery of what they created. And my sense is that they, in this surgery, they cut around the hole through the abdominal wall so that they could go...
I gotta listen to this. Cut around the hole through the abdominal wall.
And so that, like, they can go on the outside and sew... I don't know, but like...
Okay.
Sew the...
Where the intestine...
I have no idea what they did. But basically, they sewed it on the inside.
So it wasn't just like an open channel. They didn't just cover up the surface hole.
Yeah, like the skin. They had to go on the inside and close off the intestine.
There we go.
And then above that, I get the sense they have to kind of close it off. They didn't have to do any surface stitching. She said she might have to do one or two, but afterward, she said she didn't have to do that. And so she just put a steri strip and a dressing over top.
And skin glue.
And skin glue, yeah.
So it's like internal stitches and then skin glue to close the actual incision.
And we had tried, just to be clear, we had tried skin glue, which was basically a Band-Aid on a deeper problem, hence the surgery.
We literally went and got liquid Band-Aid, which I've never tried before. This was so many weeks ago. The feeding tube had been out for weeks and it was not closing. And we weren't getting anywhere with trying to figure out who's supposed to close it and when and all of this monkey business. And so Peter was like, you know, there's liquid Band-Aids. And I was like, oh, I need that. So we go to Target. It was on sale. It was perfect. We get the liquid Band-Aid. We bring it home. And I basically just start like pouring it in the hole. Not quite pouring it, but like it's like a, wasn't it a brush? It was like a fingernail polish brush. And I'll just say I wasn't dabbing off the extra dot of liquid before I painted it. And I was like, let's just try it. Let's see what happens. And it didn't work. The feeding tube hole is really juicy. And like, you can't get something to dry when something's juicy. Let me just tell you that. I learned that. We now have liquid Band-Aid if anybody needs some, because I have a whole bottle and I couldn't, it didn't work. It was a desperate night. It was really desperate. But anyway, I just wanted to check in and say, like, all is well. We got home. I think we vlogged. After we got home, Peter and I went to bed at 8 p.m. I took pain med and went to sleep. Really, really thankful to report it did not make me nauseous. And I mean, Zofran with it, of course, helped. And then I slept for about 2 hours and then my brain was like awake. Then I took a melatonin and I was able to go back to sleep. And I think my body woke up about every 2 hours. Oh, I forgot to tell you this. In the middle of the night, I was thirsty. So I pick up that glass of water off my bedside table and start glugging it down. And I was like, thank you, Lord, for this water. Like, it was the best water I've ever tasted. I just like needed it. It was very epic. So basically, I'll say it this way, my lungs need more attention than I anticipated. I thought, because in my endoscopies, of course, I'm only under anesthesia for, I don't know, 20 minutes or something. This was, I believe it was about 2 hours that I was under. And so my lungs, when I woke up, I was coughing a lot more than my like endoscopies. But I mean, they had been, there was a breathing tube, but they were in my lungs. It's like, it makes sense that I was coughing. And basically, like, I can stand up, I can pick Elijah up, but coughing specifically really hurts. Yeah, like, you know when your body is like, Mayday, don't do that. Whatever you just did, don't do that. But I'm like, I have to cough. Like, it's really important. So anyway, I'm gonna take another pain med. I think I have pain meds for 2 or 3 days. And the surgeon also said, stay on top of Tylenol. I can't take ibuprofen, so stay on top of Tylenol. And yeah, so we haven't seen the incision yet. Peter was saying how weird it is that we won't see the actual incision until like 2 to 5 days, I think she said, then take the dressing off or it'll fall off. And we don't know which direction the incision's going. And we thought it was going this way. Like this, you can't see it, but there's an incision right here from when they placed the feeding tube. We were thinking it was gonna go this way, but then Peter said, what if it goes this way? I don't know which way it goes, so we'll find out my new body art, my new scar, soon, in the next few days. So, okay, I just took Zofran, and now I'm taking meds. Oh man, I am so thankful that it's over. Oh, so, you know what I would be really interested about? I was just going to make like a, one of my vlog announcement recommendations, future patient type thing. Like when I say, so if you in the future have a feeding tube, I was gonna say that sort of thing, but I was overtaken by the overwhelming desire to know the statistics for how many feeding tubes close on their own and how many need to be surgically closed. I have a close friend whose feeding tube was removed about 5 weeks after mine, same exact style of feeding tube, and hers is already closing. And her feeding tube had only been in for 18 months and mine was 5.5 years. So I have heard that it can differ, like whether it closes or not, depending on how long it's been in. I guess that makes sense, how thick the calloused skin is from your tract, like from your like feeding tube hole and the tunnel. But anyway, I guess my recommendation is if I could go back in time, if I could, this is what I would do. There's no way around it though, because I called the surgeon's office who placed it. They said in 3 to 4 weeks, if it doesn't close, you know, seek out a surgeon to help. But, and that is what I did.
I do think if we were at the original hospital where it was placed, they would have felt an urgency to figure it out. I think it's because we were at a new hospital that they didn't feel a responsibility to figure it out.
Yeah. And I mean, I was asking questions, who do I contact if it doesn't close? Having trouble getting an answer, and then of course you guys remember I was put in the system of like referral to a random surgeon within the hospital, and literally a random surgeon accepted my referral, and then that surgeon was unfamiliar with my type of feeding tube, and that didn't go well, of course, as you can imagine. Anyway, if I could go back, I would have, but you see, this is the thing. I was told that I guess sometimes they close. And mine just didn't.
But it would have been nice to have a surgery appointment on the books in case it didn't close.
So, almost 8 weeks of my abdominal juices pouring out was not okay. My digestive system has been more messed up than it ever has been. Like, my guts and my poo and everything is so messed up right now. I am really curious now that it's not pouring whatever, like, abdominal juices out, if it's going to normalize my digestive system, or if I need to, like, get to the doctor quick, because it has been so crazy. Anyway, I guess trying to get in contact with the surgeon before it's already time to have surgery, because of course a surgeon can't just, like, do surgery. They have to wait for OR time and all of this. So I guess if a feeding tube is being removed, specifically a J tube, I think G tubes tend to close on their own. This is what I'm hearing. If you're going to have your J tube removed, have an appointment with a surgeon booked before you take it out. Meaning, have it on the schedule so that at 3 weeks after removal, oh wait, would that work, babe? Have an appointment with the surgeon before it's removed, so that that's your, like, pre-op. And so then if 3 to 4 weeks later it's not closed, although some people say 6 weeks, so whatever your surgeon says, then you're actually able to get on the OR schedule.
I don't know.
Who knows? It was quite a journey, but we made it through, and I am so thankful. Is that my baby?
Yeah, do you want to show them what we got?
Oh yeah, guys. The day before surgery, Peter and one of our friends from church went and picked up from Facebook Marketplace this piano. You are a happy boy. Do you love music?
It's a miniature piano, so it's only 5 octaves. And it's still heavy, but it is, like, so much smaller.
You might not be able to tell in the camera, but I believe if the measurements in the post were right, it's 41 inches by 40 by 23 or something like that. So we are very happy, but thanks for coming on the surgery journey. Hopefully next time we pick up the camera, I can show you my incision and we'll be all good to go. Bye.
Wanna say bye?
Bye.
Can you wave?
Do you want to play music to end it?
Here, let's play an outro.
Ta-da!